few good midwives. We're looking for a few good midwives. I see performance of the promise keeper. God is perfect. God gives us a perfect picture of faithfulness. Lord have mercy. God is that covenant keeping God. God is faithful. God has been faithful. God will be faithful. Come on here, somebody. God keeps his word. He fulfills his promises, and we can trust him. I heard them say, as I was a baby Christian, I heard them say that the promise from God is just as good as the manifestation. In other words, if God ever promised you anything, you can take it to the bank, my friend. If God ever told you anything, it's just as good as having it in your hand. It will manifest. People, what's the first promise that God was keeping them? God cared for them in a famine. God preserves, look at this, the covenant community in the middle of the famine. God kept their identity in the midst of a famine and a foreign land. Isn't that amazing? They were down in bondage for over 4 centuries. And God still had a people. And not only that, God kept them from death. Lord have mercy. God preserved the seed and didn't let them die because they had somewhere to go. You missed it. God preserved the seed and didn't let them die because they were not done. You missed it. God preserved the seed because there was something he wanted to do in them and through them and didn't let them die. This God is a promise keeper. God kept them from being separated. Lord, I'm just telling you what happened before we see Brother Moses. He kept them from being separated. He kept them together. They was on different sides of town, but God kept them together. Some was watching on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, but God kept them together. God had some folk in-house and some folks sitting outside in the parking lot like they had lost their mind, sitting in the car, listening to worship and listening to the word, but God kept them together. I'm looking for somebody that know that God will keep his people. He'll keep them together. I get out of here. God even kept them in spite of themselves. Look, I also see a picture of providence. Can I tell you that your place that seems to be incarceration could very well be God's incubation? Look at it. I see pressure birthed through paranoia. Here it is. I see a phenomenon produced by persecution. I see, because of all of this, I see a plot, hear me, of satanic proportion. Hear me. I'm trying to tell you the profile of the proficient. A few good midwives. I don't know if I got some midwives or some mid-sirs in the house of the Lord. Online today, in the parking lot, we're looking for a few good midwives. You know, I almost preach, is there a midwife in the house? I almost preach, somebody is pregnant, somebody is expecting, and in order for us to produce, in order for us to break out, in order for us to go through, every now and then we need a midwife. See, everybody want to be a prophet, everybody want to be an apostle, everybody want to be a bishop, everybody want to be a pastor, everybody want to be an evangelist, everybody want to be a missionary, but I'm looking for some midwives. Can I tell you the ministry of a midwife? A midwife is knowledgeable and experienced. A midwife is not new to this, but I'm true to this. The Lord has brought me through some things. I got some knowledge and some experience. See, a midwife produces continuous physical and emotional informational support. See, I'm trying to tell you about a midwife. See, I learned not just about a midwife by reading in the text, but our last child, lady, she had him at home. And I tell you that she's a goon. I never look in my house the same. She had our child right there in our bedroom. And I said, Lord, she didn't have no epidural. She didn't have all the stuff people normally have. But she had a natural birth. But she had a midwife. And the midwife was there. And they were giving her physical and emotional informational support. See, I had the title. I was the husband and I was the father. But we needed a midwife. I don't need no title. I just need a towel so I can help somebody. I'm looking for somebody that want to be a midwife. A midwife offers support and that deems appropriate. I can only lead you where you want to be led. I can only help you when you want to be helped. I'm talking about the midwife. I'm going to bring you some comfort. I'm going to teach you how to breathe. Is there anybody in here that got a midwife anointing? The way you got a friend that's losing their mind. And you say, breathe, baby. It's going to be all right. I know your marriage is over. You're going to be all right. Y'all don't want me to preach in here. But I'm looking for a midwife that'll come along somebody and say it's going to be all right. The Lord going to pick you up. The Lord going to snatch you out. The Lord going to help you. A midwife assists on the journey. A midwife committed to life. You're not going to die here, but you're going to go on there and you're going to give God some glory. You're going to give God some honor. I'm talking to somebody online. You're not going to die right here. That's the ministry of a midwife. I'm not going to die right here, but I'm going to give somebody some encouragement. I'm going to tell you about the provision from the progenitor. Because I look out for somebody else, look what God said in Exodus 1:21. It said, because the midwives feared the Lord, he gave them families. Y'all missed that. I said the provision from the progenitor. God said, because you helped somebody else, I'm going to breathe on you. Y'all don't know when to get happy. I'm looking for a few good midwives. You don't got to get paid to serve the Lord. I'm looking for a few good people. Pastor, you don't got to call my name. In fact, Pastor, you don't even got to know my name, because I'm looking for the Lord to open up the floodgates. I'm looking for the Lord to touch my mind, to heal my body, to touch my babies. See, these midwives, they didn't have no children of their own, but because they helped somebody else birth their child, they helped somebody else produce their vision, they helped somebody else push out their breakthrough. The Lord said, you're going to help them like that? I'm going to breathe on you. I'm looking for somebody that want to serve this present age. I'm looking for somebody that'll pray without a title, that'll clean without a title, that'll love without a title, and say, Lord, I'm going to help somebody. I'm going to pull somebody up because you pulled me up. Come on, give some praise right there.